customs building right there in the Portland. So they dock there, show their passports, and then they can go around. So because of the length of the runway and how short it is, the planes that you see here are basically the biggest planes that can use this airport. Porter uses Dash Q400 Bombardier airplanes made in Quebec. Basically, they hold about 70 to 80 people. So they're just like a very cool Airbus. They do flights no longer than 3 to 4 hours. The furthest you can get in one flight from here is Burnaby in South Carolina. But a lot of flights to Montreal, Quebec City, Ottawa, Thunder Bay, some of the Maritimes. Yeah, but basically those planes, for their size, they have enough runway to stop. If you try to land at 747, you're not stopping in time. You're in the other side, in the water.
Ang tourist na mo. Ano ko?
Miss Alberta.
Oh, si Miss Alberta.
That's also why we have these white buoys in the water.
Si Ayan,
all the way
taga-message.
around the end of the runway, you didn't get close to it. And that is
Unya na
because
pag-message
planes
yan.
get very close to the water when they're
Oh,
coming into
Pantad
land.
ay, Miss Pantad.
And we keep all boat traffic away from the end of the runway so that
Miss
the plane
Poblacion
doesn't hit the
3.
boat. It sounds weird, but it's absolutely
Sinaklaan.
possible. And it happened once in the 1940s.
Unya na pag-message dira, ayan, kay busy ko.
Coming to land on a foggy evening,
Kasi kayo mga
did
Miss
not
Alberta.
realize
Nakitan
that
mo, Unya na.
public ferries coming right by the end of the runway, and the
Nakita
plane
niya sa
actually
live.
Pati na live.
not a happy ending for the pilots on board. Everybody on the ferry is actually okay. It's a chilly day, they're all in the lower part. The ferry was damaged, but it has been fixed. The Standing Ride still runs today. Those boats are over 80 years
Walay
old.
nag-live ron, oy, ay walay nag-tanaw.
So over here, on the right, we're entering the Toronto Islands. All these big tires are a ferry dock at Hamlin's Point. We also have 2 other locations for ferries, Center Island and then Forbes Island in the east. You can see up on land there's a big red tugboat. That is a replica of the
Ah.
boat that John and Anne Hamlin used to use back in the 1850s and 60s. They're an Irish family that came over here. And it's named for the Hamlins because they were some of the first Europeans, I guess, settlers, Western people, to live on the islands all year long. Now, before that, people would come out to the islands in Toronto. Even the indigenous people that were here before Europeans came here, they would come out here as a place of healing, a place to relax, basically. Since they're old and they're sick, to recover, kind of use it the same way. We have to get away from the city, right? But the Hamlins decided to live here all year long. Now, the winters can be pretty
Nice
unforgiving in Canada. Not so much these past few years, but generally it can get very cold, very icy on the islands. So it wasn't a very popular thing to live out here all year long. Most people just had tent communities, little shanty town kind of things, just for the summertime, just to be out here. But when they decided to live here, they also decided why not build it up. So they built a big hotel called Hamlin's Hotel, beautiful Victorian style architecture. You can find pictures of it online. And then around it sprang up bars, restaurants, a casino, an amusement park, a circus, a 10,000-seater baseball diamond, where Babe Ruth actually hit his first professional career home run at the age of 19. True story, there's a plaque there commemorating it. So a lot of history out here at Hamlin's Point. But if you're looking off to the right here, all you see is trees and swans, and you're wondering, what am I talking about? Well, it was very, very popular, did very well for itself. Early 1900s, especially 1920s, things were popping off. We were making so much money off of Americans coming up here because of Prohibition. It actually garnered us the nickname Coney Island of the North. People came up here to have a good time. But then after that, the Great Depression, World War II, a lot of money dried up, businesses went bankrupt, we had other priorities. And then in 1950,
Tanaw na lang sa YouTube.
Ano sa YouTube?
1954, Hurricane Hazel came through. Hurricanes never make it up this far. It's actually one of only 2 possible hurricanes that have made it this far north at full force in 150 years. Did a lot of damage, a lot of flooding. And at that point, the city decided that they didn't want all of these businesses and all these people living on the islands. If it's inaccessible, the islands are very susceptible to bad weather. They're basically sandbars, right? So they're not concrete, they're not solid ground. They always change shape. There's just a lot of things to maintain and keep track of. So the city decided that they wanted everybody to leave the islands
Nawala ba
and
kung
turn it
dalang
into
charger?
public
Aha,
park
namin.
space. You can come visit,
Hindi.
but you have to leave. And that's
Android.
kind of what they did. So they got rid of all the buildings. None of the entertainment district exists at all anymore.
Malupat to niya ko ani aha.
There are still some people that live on the islands at Wards and Algonquin, all the way east.
Uy, nay,
They're
mga
very
ducky.
close to these islands. But you may be able to make out some homes who are back out in the harbor through the trees. And they're still here because they fought the government's plans to be relocated.
Ducky.
I'll tell you more about them in a little bit. But for now, again, Hanlon's Point, lots of green space, beautiful walking paths, bike paths, very popular, especially in the summer on hot days, because it is famous for having one of only 2 public clothing optional beaches in Canada. So, just on the other side of those trees today, probably a bunch of naked people. We're not going to see them on the tour guides. On the other side, people are nice enough to get dressed before they come out through the trees from the beach. But another really, really cool feature of Hanlon's Point, coming up ahead of us on the right, you'll see a few boats. This is public mooring. Anybody that has a boat can come through here. They can dock, and then there's yellow posts along the wall that are electric plug-in. So you can plug in your boat, and you can stay overnight. At least a week, I think, is the limit at this point. And it's very affordable, about $1.80 per foot of boat per night. So depending on how long your boat is, you pay more or less. But it definitely beats the price of paying for a hotel downtown. You don't have to be in the city. You get to enjoy all this